have first two events of the day concluded, and we are in for the third event. 26 degrees, beautiful sunny weather, low humidity here at Alabina Army Proving Ground. And now, Division 1, Heat 2, individual hits featuring Vietnam, Venezuela, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. And well, dear friends, first let me introduce the judges, the umpires in this race. Kazakhstan, Talgat Sabarbayev, Lieutenant Colonel Uzbekistan, Ismail Navruzov, Venezuela, Lieutenant Colonel Luis Corona. And next is the Vietnam umpire. Introducing third file lane, color-coded yellow tank. Bolivar Republic of Venezuela. Tank commander, Senior Lieutenant Victor Luis Sanchez Romero, gunner Captain Diego Rafael Navarro Paez, and the driver Captain Wilfredo Jose Solosano Aguilar, Venezuela. And crews are taking their places in the T-72B3s. Just we're seeing the driver, Karim Urunov, taking the tank along the track. We're sure that all of the families, friends of our competitors, for Army Games back in 2015. Now we're witnessing the 8th International Army Games along with the 10th International Tank Biathlon. The track is quite wet, despite the hot weather here at the track. However, we are confident the tankman will be able to tackle all of the targets and all of their laps. Now, be reminded that hatches must be sealed before moving and live fires. We see easily traversed the escort obstacle with this 42-ton armored vehicle. Just imagine the ease with which this tank is overcoming the escort. And we're now watching 3 targets out in the range, 16 to 1800 meters. The gunner for Venezuela, Captain Diego Rafael Navarro Paez, is firing. We're waiting for a decision. It is difficult to say whether there was a hit. It's possible that the bottom edge was pierced. However, it is quite difficult to tell from this angle without the replays. Second fire. With high probability, Venezuela team has just scored themselves 2 penalty laps. And the third target out in the field. All eyes on the target. Concentration is demanded from the gunner. Alas, miss. And back to Venezuela, loading 3 standard 125mm artillery shells. Takes about 1 minute for the loading, which is valuable time wasted. Unfortunately, Venezuela team in the replays is seen missing their first round of targets. And now for the second attempt following this loading. Just ending the loading stage time-wise. Venezuela is now reporting ready to fire at the second attempt on the 3 tank targets. Only first division hits use additional ammunition on these targets. Second division don't have the same allowance. However, second division always has a chance to be in with a ticket to Division 1 following the winning tally. At the end of next week, we're going to identify the winners for individual hits: gold, silver and bronze. However, first division teams, 8 first division teams, are going to go through to the semi-finals of the relay race.
Resuelva rápido, resuelva rápido.
This will result in the finals clash, which will see the 4 strongest teams of the contest battling for gold. Now, dear friends, certainly would like all of the targets to be hit without additional ammunition. However, anxiety and emotions are running high. Venezuela is, unfortunately, to the greatest regret of all Venezuela fans, we're seeing another miss. Another shot. Second shot. Unfortunately, we just saw Venezuela miss their third target, their third round, and Venezuela is now assigned to 6 penalty laps, 3 kilometers, almost as much as the whole lap. If you recall, 1 full lap of the individual hits is 4 kilometers, 100 meters. So practically 3 kilometers is 1 full lap of the track. And now let's wish all the best of luck to Vietnam, Social People's Republic. Vietnam is now loading ammunition, 3 standard artillery shells. The coach for Kazakhstan is reporting ready to fire, to engage target number 9, and Venezuela is now going on its penalty laps. So the driver for Vietnam carefully, attentively, hands on their feet, hands in the air. Just watch these tanks racing, Venezuela and Kazakhstan. The drivers need to be careful. Certainly the rules on the track are similar to road rules. You must give way to the right. And the drivers are carefully taking their tanks along the track, finish their live fire mission. Certainly every year the level. Now, at the next lap, and Venezuela is now crossing the finish line, ending the first lap, entering the second. Unfortunately, they had to do many penalty laps, as knocking the pole. However, this seems Venezuela is finding live fire missions more difficult than the other contestants. Unfortunately, not be able to match on fire accuracy. They've already paid for the misses by the penalty times. And Azerbaijan team, Azerbaijan, Mongolia, Vietnam, Venezuela, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, China and Belarus are, along with Russia and Kyrgyzstan, are featuring Division 1. Division 2, Laos, Armenia, Syria, Laos, Myanmar, South Ossetia, Abkhazia, Tajikistan and Sudan is also taking part in this year's tank biathlon. Last year also saw them taking part. Sudan has been taking part in a tank biathlon for a few years now. Certainly Sudan has a lot to learn in fulfilling the contest's challenges, so we are yet to see them this year. Venezuela tank is now performing its live fire with tracer volleys. The tank commander for Venezuela, Senior Lieutenant Victor Lunes Sanchez Romero, has just earned himself a penalty round for missing the target. Benign in their next fire mission. A great team. All of the Division 1 teams are quite strong this year. And even the second division, just look at what happened with Myanmar. Myanmar has shown us amazing results, certainly worthy of Division 1 in their individual Division 2 hits. Now carefully, Venezuela is entering the restricted maneuvering passage. Vietnam is now given a pit stop. We're clarifying the reason for that, but no doubt the umpires are carefully checking and verifying all of the replays. Major General Kirill Kulakov is the chief umpire of the contest, and the judges, the umpires panel, is represented by one representative from every team. The umpires have gone through intensive training before the sessions, received certification at umpiring for tank biathlon events, and so we expect fair and precise umpiring. 6 minutes 17 seconds behind the leaders. Uzbekistan is Vietnam. Venezuela is now recording lap time of 33.17, lap 3, against 23-24 minutes for Vietnam. Once again, that's the previous biathlon. The teams were assigned additional penalty time, and when the team finished with their lap times, after ending the race, the judges, the umpires panel, had to recalculate to catch up on the race leaders Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Venezuela lost the track here, lost the way for some reason, however came back. Certainly more attention is required. High degree of concentration is demanded of the drivers. Certainly the tanks can pass anywhere, however the track, competition track, is clearly marked and should not be avoided. Going very well, gliding across the slope. Venezuela clean passage through the obstacle. White flags by the flagman. No stopping, that's the key for this obstacle. Very well managed by Captain, tank commander for Venezuela. The pressure in the stands, the fans, the coaches are holding their breath. Everything rests on the driver's shoulder. Venezuela is loading the ammo, exiting the tank. The whole crew has to dismount, and now they're off. 15 rounds are loaded, 6 with traces, as to better correct volley fire on the helicopter target. job. Pattern positions are taken, hatches sealed. That's another obligatory requirement. The gunner is about to engage at will. Tracking for target. Only hitting the target remains. Unfortunately, the target still remains intact. We see no glass shattered. These are glass targets, making it quite easy to tell the hits. And we can see the rounds falling around, and only with a final volley the target is hit. Target is down for Venezuela. 1 out of 5 targets in the individual hits for Venezuela is hit. Very well. Certainly this is great in terms of having a score. However, certainly not the best of performance, but we still have Cruise 2 and Cruise 3 about to take the field in the coming days, so we're going to expect a top performance from all of the teams. And tomorrow, let me remind you, China, Belarus, Russia and Kyrgyzstan are in for their first clash. Division 1, followed by the second division event featuring Iran, Mali, Zimbabwe and South Ossetia, and also Abkhazia, Tajikistan and Sudan. Venezuela back in 2021 has taken 10th position overall. Team Vietnam came 9th, but today we can see that Vietnam's first crew is doing significantly better compared to their Venezuelan counterparts. So let's wish them all the best in doing their homework and be able to perform best in the second and third crews, avoiding the mistakes made by the first crew. The tanks by the Russian Federation, the hosts of this tank biathlon. The only team importing their own tanks is the Chinese team. However, this Type 96 V3 is still compatible to T-72s. Belarus is also using their own tanks. However, still the same T-72 B3s. And now Venezuela is through the restricted maneuvering passage, about to enter the anti-tank trench. Only moments remain before the end of these hits. Division 1, tank biathlon, 8th Army International Games. Today was the official opening of the 8th Army International Games and the tank biathlon. However, the official opening will take place on Monday, the 15th of August. Patriot Park in Moscow region is going to host the opening ceremony, and the Labina testing ground is going to host the tank biathlon debut. Venezuela finishing the first hits on the first day of this tank biathlon. Great result. All of the teams are now finished. Let's once again thank tank commander, Senior Lieutenant Victor Luis Sanchez Romero for Venezuela, the gunnery captain, Diego Rafael Navarro Paez, and the driver, Wilfredo Jose Solorzano Aguilar. Great job on behalf of all the Venezuela team members. Thank you very much, dear friends. Lots of support for you here in the stands. Best times, once again, 25:18 Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan 25:57, Vietnam 34:53, Venezuela 47:05. Top speed, Uzbekistan 72 kilometers per hour. And now the umpires are about to inspect the targets. The chief umpire is preparing the next session of the umpire panel, which will take place quite soon. As to tally up the results for the first day. This was your Tank Biathlon host, Nikolai Fedorov, and co-hosting for the English-speaking audiences, Dmitry Klinsky. So now, amazing day. Best times recorded by Uzbekistan, 25:18, followed by Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Azerbaijan, Vietnam and Venezuela at 47:05.